Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel. We're here to discuss last night's game as Celtic got their first Europa League win of the season, beating Sturm Graz by 2-1. We're also going to be talking about the weekend's game as Celtic head to Tynecastle for a top of the table clash. Joined by Alistair. Alistair, honestly, there was a lot of trepidation about got the game last night, especially in the preview. But you know what? They managed to pull out when it looked quite ominous, probably, especially at half time.
Aye. I mean, see, looking back at it, Josh, we actually battered them. We battered them. I mean, I know the first 20 minutes was a bit hairy, but really, we should have been 3-4-5-1 last night, and I'm not exaggerating.
Aye.
I was
No,
quite pleased with the performance.
no, I thought it was. I thought we were creating stuff in the opening kind of 15, 20 minutes, but then what's lacked the whole season has been that end product. The urgency was just no there. We managed to then just break down. And some of the chances we're missing as well were, really really bad, especially when it comes to Benjamin Negron, which I'm really glad he got the goal in the end last night. But some of the chances he was missing, I mean, it were unbelievable. Um, but I thought half time wasn't happy. Was pissed off again as usual because I think we were playing well, but Celtic are at the point now where fans want results. So if we're down 1-0 at half time, people, fans, no matter if the performance are good or bad, are going to be very pissed off. The Sturm Graz goal, I mean, I don't know what it fucking is with people, where other teams scoring absolute screamers into us. Maybe we should take note. Um, it's an unbelievable strike. I don't think I would say Tierney needs to do a lot better with keeping the ball. And then he was running back, he looked like he was towing a caravan. Then it goes
I,
into the midfielder who just, I mean, honestly, it's a ridiculous finishing. Unlike Braga, I don't really think there was much Casper Schmeichel could have done. It's bent right into the corner, and it does go the right way, but I don't think any goalkeeper stopping that, to be honest with
I
you.
think, I think, I think we should use this as a bit of context, and I was giving it, and you'll confirm this, Josh. I was giving it tight to Casper Michael for the next 10 minutes, but when I seen it, you showed me in your phone, and I went,
Aye.
"Fuck, you got a strike." And sometimes, as hard as it is, sometimes you need to say, "What a goal! What a goal!"
Oh, it was a screamer, man. It was a
You're not
screamer.
really, you're not, you're not really expecting. Actually, by the way averages, you're saying shoot for there, aren't you?
Aye.
Because you'd normally think you wouldn't beat a goalkeeper for that distance. But the swerve on it, because we probably one of the best views in the stadium.
Oh,
As
aye,
soon
probably.
as they hit it, you just thought, oh shit.
It's cool trying your luck. And
I
as I
wish
said,
we'd take men off and
exactly. And I'm not sitting Celtic should be just hitting shots in anywhere, right? But I'm sick of us not getting to the edge of the box and passing. And I think that, to be honest, I think that's part of the reason because of no get a lot of confidence in the squad at the moment. I think there is a lack of confidence, so they're just trying to. I don't want to accuse them of passing the buck, but they're trying to, try to just make sure that there's a 99.9% chance it's going to go in the back of the net. And that's all you need to do sometimes is just take a shot, like we saw with the Sturm Graz goal. But I think overall, after we actually played pretty well. We were a lot more direct going forward. The ball wasn't at the back as much. Obviously, the two big issues in the first half were the injuries. Well, I think Ian actually was an injury in the first half.
to
Looks like
have
he's
things. I
looks like he's done his hamstringing. Alistair Johnson, then he done his. It looks like he's done his hamstringing after only playing 15 minutes. It's just unfortunate that we've got managed to get a win, but there's still a lot of negatives around it.
will
We'll obviously
get
speak.
the major
Uh,
negatives later, folks.
we'll speak to that about that in a second. Um, But you get into the second half, you're just looking for a new start. I thought Sturm Graz started the second half much better. I think so. I'm out of time before they get a second. I'm just going to be honest with you, that was my thoughts. I thought so. I'm out of time. I think here before Sturm Graz get a second. Then we do get then we had really good chances before we actually do score. Engels plays a superb ball into Nygren. I don't know how the hell the guy has missed it. He's about 2 yards out, and he gets it close at the corner flag with chances.
Yeah, that header. I think it was almost a header to set somebody up. You know, like, what did you know? Go for yourself. But what pleased me, and we haven't been able to say this for this season actually. At least we created chances last night.
Aye, no,
That
it's
was
like,
the biggest plus for me.
aye.
We do need to be clinical.
Oh, we need to
But
be a lot sharper. You had really good chances before the goal. Nygren's had hundreds of chances. I think the chance for the corner, goalkeeper makes a save, but then the corner. Well, I'm sick of Celtic corners this season, right? It was really good to see us score from 2 corners.
coffee
Um,
too.
the first one, Nygren just no farting about, no waving his hands about like a daffy. It just put the ball down, get it. I think it was I think Engels plays it. Engels into Donovan. Donovan at scale goal. That football's simple sometimes, and that's the thing. I think that's the problem with us Alistair, at the moment. We're not making football look simple. I think
I,
football is lost in your tiki taka possession crap like Pep. I honestly think Pep's ruined football anyway, but I think
yeah, well,
it's so
I've always
overcomplicated.
I've always said, Josh, there's more, I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I mean, the best Celtic team I've seen were accused of being long ball merchants, and that had lasted starting in Hearts and it, believe it or not. But, yeah, it's effective. If you're playing Juventus with Del Piero, you're not going to be passing it round the back or you need to play to your strengths. And I
Aye,
thought last night we did. We did
aye,
pretty good.
exactly because see once we get that equaliser, Sturm Graz fell apart
You could
because we were putting
sense
them
it,
under
but
pressure.
as soon as on you go.
Aye, what I was going to say, but see, as soon as a ball gets put in a box, no matter if it's crap or it's good or it comes to it, the crowd, as soon as that ball hits the box, the crowd start getting a bit, a chance there. Then the defence, you need to give teams sometimes a decision to make. And we could be playing Juventus, we could be playing Dundee, we could be playing Motherwell, we could be Hearts even at the weekend.
Doesn't
You need to
matter.
get, you need to give teams a decision to make, and sometimes going long can do that, and that's my problem. We don't do it enough. You're passing it about the back 100 times. I'll go into the player who I thought really enabled us to do it a bit later on because I think he deserves a lot of credit for his performance last night. But I really the directness of the performance. I'm going to be honest with you. When the equaliser went in, I thought, right, still not enough. You need to go and get another goal, and we did do that. Alistair, really good delivery in for Engels, and then I don't know what their goalkeeper's doing in all fairness, right? But and then Nygren heads it in finally after about 80,000 headers that he's had. But it was really good to see it as you just up the pace, up
Go
the
at
ante.
teams. Go
Aye.
to, do you know what it was? It was Celtic saying, we're better than you. Now that we've equalised,
Exactly.
we're going all the way here. And see, to be honest, mate, and I think we need to say this because I think the crowd deserve a lot of credit
Oh,
last night
definitely.
because they stuck with the team even in the first half. They were not getting on the players' backs. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, there were spells it was a bit flat, but on the whole, it was it was a good it was a good atmosphere. I felt. I really felt tried to get behind the team. I think that was because we something to get behind.
No, definitely. I think it was. I think we had something to get behind, and I think the crowd. I've always said this. You need to give this Celtic team or no Celtic crowd something to get behind. We're brilliant fans and all that and whatever else, but we can't get behind nothing. And unfortunately, too many times at Celtic Park this season, there's been nothing to get behind. And see when we did get to that pay where we scored, we scored 2 goals. Now, I've always said this, and you said something about, we're better than you. You need to impose yourself in the game. And Celtic haven't done that enough this season either. You need to have self-belief in yourself. No, we're better than you.
Aye.
We're better than Dundee. We're better than Sturm Graz. You need to impose yourself.
I hope we go into Tynecastle with that attitude, John. I genuinely believe we've got better individuals and Hearts on the whole. I do genuinely believe that.
Aye, and we've got individuals that have been there and done it, and have been through. I know there'll be players like Vickers, Carter Vickers, and Johnson missing, but we've got players that have been through the course and done it. And I'm going to say this right, and this is no me having a go at Rodgers. That performance in the last kind of 20 minutes that we got when we got those 2 goals, we were probably our whole night performance. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that whole 90 minutes, because I know it looks like we only scored 2 goals in the last. But the way I look at it, we were creating chances. It was 3-4, and it was just that killer instinct there, in terms of trying to get that goal and just put the team away. Wasn't there? We weren't maybe as sharp as we need to be. But what I would say is that's what I expect from this Celtic team. Fast, quick.
If you're going to go down at least trying, and then you can say. But I think, do you know something, Joe? I think we get back to basics last night. It was we've been playing at pace that suits opposition teams. We kind of went a long way back to what we were playing. No fully last season, but you can start to see glimpses of it. And I would say that.
I know, definitely.
But once forward doesn't make a summer.
It needs to, as I said in the title, it needs to be something with building. Obviously, going into the weekend, Cameron Carter Vickers then went down injured at the end, which is another injury which probably seen him out to about between 3 and 5 months. Which is just, this is turning into a complete crisis when it comes to injuries. But I've always said this: indecision will come back and bite you in the arse. And during the summer window, we showed complete indecision. And what's happened? We have got a striker who's probably going to be starting up front, and probably one of our biggest games of the season, who's unfortunately, in my opinion, unproven. You've got a right back position that's obviously been.
He's been rushed back.
Johnson's been rushed back because the 2 other players, one's a young guy who's inexperienced, and the other one for me and Ralston just isn't good enough. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry, that stuff comes back and bites you, and that's what's happened.
I'll be honest, as regard lack of recruitment, I'll criticise Rodgers for tactical decisions, but I ain't criticising him for lack of squad depth. That's on the board for me.
No, definitely. That is on the board. That is on the board at the end of the day. Because they've not, we talk about the tools again, in my opinion, they didn't arm Brendan Rodgers with the correct tools to navigate all the games that we're going to play, because Celtic play 40-50 games a season, realistically. And they didn't arm him with the tools to navigate those 40-50 games, because one more injury,
let's be honest, Joe, we've gave ourselves a chance to be beating Sturm Graz, but me and you, I think both know in my heart of hearts, this squad isn't going to sustain a European campaign. Nowhere near it.
Well, they're going to need to go to team like Michelin and get a result.
We're top of the league, by the way,
Aye,
with 9 points.
exactly. So it's a good performance. That's what I would say. But
It's a start.
I say to you at the end of the game, this, and you might have to call me a do-face prick for this, right? But um, I've only said, aye, it's good, but this needs to be the build or something because one good result, brilliant. But we should have been beating Sturm Graz anyway, and I'd expect Celtic to do it. But it was good to obviously get that victory because we were in a bit we're really struggling, and we're still probably struggling. So if they can back that up, and the perfect thing to do is back it up on Sunday we play Hearts, then fine. If they can go next week and get a result in that semi-final against Rangers, who
And
a team
beat
who are
Falkirk as well, let's be respectful.
Falkirk as well, then fine. Then you can start talking and go, right, we're starting to get our thing together, but now because we've got these injured players, but at the end of the day, it's up for these players to come in and do their job. Players like Murray will probably come in. Kenny's got to probably get a run in the team now. So, and I think there was a lot of positives with Johnny Kenny last night. I just think his end product, I think he rushes things too much. But I think his overall movement, and there was one where he hounded the defender and he was clean through and goal. He's unlucky with the finish. If he
He
can
was
start,
dying for somebody to wear the ball off, take his angle was getting tighter and tighter, I felt.
if he
And
if if
on you go.
he can add that finish and touch this game, then he could probably go on a really good run with
Yeah,
Celtic.
well, put it this way, Joy. He needs to, because we need him to. Right, I tell you what you say to Johnny Kenny. You say you wanted a chance,
You've
here's your
got it.
chance to prove it.
You've got it. And that is the thing. Before we do move on to the Hearts preview, obviously I'll get the table up if you give me 2 wee seconds. We'll have a look at the table. Celtic currently sit 21st on 4 points from 3 games. It could have been a lot worse, but it could have been better in my opinion.
But the thing is, Josh, if you actually look a lot of what the positive I would say over this is you're no cut adrift. You're no cut
Uh,
adrift. You're in the
uh,
you're in the hunt to get a place. And
uh,
really in our current situation, can you really ask for much more?
No, exactly. So we'll give ourselves a chance, and we got that 3 points that's needed. Obviously, talking about being cut adrift. Sorry, I know it's absolutely shameless, man. To be like because we're not in a great situation either. But I
No, but
kind
I
of
think we're entitled to because according to everybody that you speak to, they're good on Thursday nights. So I wonder what's happened.
But no, it's gave us a chance, and that's obviously the main thing. That's what we wanted and what we said in the preview. We had to get the 3 points, which we did. Alistair, right, moving on to obviously the Hearts game and Sunday. As I said originally, we could obviously hopefully try and bring some of that good performance that we've seen obviously on Thursday night into the game on Sunday. I'm not even going to. This isn't even me probably putting it lightly here. It's a massive game. It's a massive game for Brendan Rodgers. It's a massive game for the team up against the McInnes and Hearts, who are high flying in the league at the moment. And that's Celtic need to go and they need to put a statement in. That's pretty simple.
Yeah, and I think I don't think you can underestimate how big a Celtic win would be psychologically at Hearts. Because I know they'd still be above us, but they they'll be thinking if if we can win, we go to clear. But from our point of view, Josh, we're thinking we've no kicked our arse this year. And if we can just limit the damage to 2 points, having them still to come to Celtic Park, them and Rangers funny enough, then then we, we've got a foothold in the league title race after that, I think. That's how
Aye,
big a game it is.
aye. It's a massive game. I think Hearts have been really good this season. They've not just breezed past every single team. They've also dug in and got results when got points when it looked like they weren't going to get points. But they've also turned on the style and managed to kind of blow teams away.
Yeah.
And it's a massive. And I talk about trying to get the kind of fans back on side. The Celtic team are quite lucky. They've got a good run of games that could get the Derby game and this game and Sunday, and obviously your European games as well in between. So they've got a good chance to get the fans kind of feeling a lot kind of better. They're just performing a lot better and actually having faith
Get
in the
a
team.
wee bit of positivity back round about the place.
Yeah, having faith in the team and having a real getting a bit more because let's be honest, you know results like last night or Thursday night will do the the confidence and the feel good factor a real good thing because getting back with the team and stuff like that. But if a result doesn't go away on Sunday, we're just back to square one, in my opinion.
Yep. It's like one step forward, 2 steps back, I know.
Aye. So Celtic need to Celtic no matter if they've got players casualties out. At the end of the day, we've got the most money in the league. We've got, in my opinion, we've got players that we should be going there and getting a result. I don't buy all this. Celtic, when they play at their best, and that's the big if, should be getting the 3 points out of most games this season. The big if is we don't know what Celtic are going to get in most times out of not this season. It's not been the best version of Celtic. It's been a slow, absolute labourist version of Celtic who just don't look interested.
The most important thing for me on Sunday, Josh, is don't, don't, don't stand off Hearts. Get torn in and
Aye,
see how see how they like it. I mean, I know Hibs lost to Hearts, but Hibs kind of showed you the way to upset Hearts, and that is something, and especially right. Here's what I think's going to happen. They'll they'll come out flying the 10 minutes. The ten
aye,
minute road I call it, where you need to feel your way into the game and get a grip as quick as possible.
aye.
Because Tynecastle is going to be hostile as fuck.
Oh, it always is. It's going to be even bigger now because of the situation they find us. They've got a chance to go 8 points ahead in the title
Effectively
race.
nine. Effectively
Uh,
nine.
That's massive. And things can change, of course, we're early in the season, but that is massive. So Tynecastle's is noisy at the best of times. It's gonna be absolutely bouncing.
And it always is, as you say, when we go there. I know that for personal experience, John. But if Celtic can somehow quieten the crowd down, get a grip early doors, and a first half goal would be nice,
Aye.
and see how they handle it. Because I don't think, with one exception, they've had to chase games very often. They've
I think
been
only one I can remember is Motherwell. I think they had to chase a game.
aye, Motherwell and maybe Dundee United, but apart from that, Josh, no. I think we need to try and put them under pressure and see how they handle it.
Aye. No, definitely. I think you talked about the first half goals and the everything else. Celtic need to start scoring more goals in the first half because I think we've only scored 5. I'm pretty sure.
I am doing him with it, Petodry.
Aye. So, because at the end of the you need to always, if you can get your opponents making, especially at Tynecastle, if you can get your opponents making, because if you go 1-0 up in the first half, your opponents start making decisions. This goes for any team that they probably wouldn't make if they're 0-0. They take more risks. They play longer passes. That allows you to pick them off. That's the thing. That's why you need to try and get them under pressure.
You know the way Derek McInnes's team's going to play. They're going to try and play for set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks. And if the Celtic team are listening to this in the off chance, you need to don't give away silly free kicks because that's what they want you to do.
Aye.
Get the crowd up, especially when you've not got big Vickers there. Don't give them any easy opportunity to test us early on. Try and test them. Try and flip it.
Aye. No, definitely. Obviously, we've got a team selection in a minute, but there's one guy who I did actually forgot to speak about in the Europa League, but he needs to start, and it's him. It's he has
Arne Engels.
Arne Engels. Arne Engels, and I'm not just saying this because I have backed him since even I was starting to lose a bit of hope in terms of what he was going to do in his Celtic career. But I have said it for weeks. I have banged the drum. He needs to start playing more games because he offers so much more balance to that midfield. And I've heard people say, well, so he's still losing the ball. He's still, getting the daft fouls. He's still getting daft fouls away. Right, I would second that. Right, he's just turned 22-year-old. Right,
Yeah.
so he's going to be like that. Right, and with a passing comment, would you rather a midfielder with 100% passing completion, and he just passes it to side?
Got to take a risk.
Aye, a side to side like the Celtic midfield has been doing at the moment with Hatate, McGregor, and Negrin, where they just pass it side to side. Their passing stats will probably be through the roof in terms of completion and accuracy. Or would you rather Engels gets maybe 80%, but he's tried to go forward, and that was what I was talking about earlier with the cutting edge at mid last night in terms of getting the ball forward quickly. He was the main architect for it. And I'm sorry, right? See, and Brendan Rodgers has a real bad habit. As soon as a player has one bad game, he's out of the team again. You can't do that.
Yeah, I know.
And that goes for Arne Engels. If Arne Engels has a bad game on Sunday, he's not just instantly dropped. Because I'm sorry, there's been a lot worse. That midfield with McGregor, Negrin, and Hatate has been no much better.
Yeah.
And they play every single game. So let him have a go. Let him have a chance for his set piece deliveries alone.
Yeah, and especially because a free kick, because it might, with Engels' delivery, all it takes is one of even the hardest player to flick it on, it could end up
Exactly. It's just being a nuisance. It's causing a bit of a problem, and he's giving us something like that. And people's, I'm glad he put that performance in on Thursday night because it's still showing he's got something there. But it's up, and this is what I'm going to be honest. I blame the manager for Arne Engels at Celtic and how it's maybe not worked as well as you thought it would be, and the price tag. People's estimations are fucking through the roof.
The price tag's annoying me because, and then the price tag's really annoying me, Josh, and I'll tell you why. Because we could have got Arne Engels for £6 million. The reason we paid £11 million was because it sat like this summer with Taneka and Balaquisa. It sat on the board's desk for 6 weeks because they faffed about, so that's on the board again. I sound like a broken record. It's absolutely true.
I like Arne Engels. I don't make any. I like him. I think he's a brilliant player. I watched him before he came to Celtic. Thought he was he's still got his what he needs to learn. But I'm sorry, Celtic don't get a complete player for £11 million.
£22. at 23 years of age, and he's in 22.
I was about to say, so, I think the price tag just doesn't do him any justice. I think a lot of people were expecting when we signed Arne Engels for this guy to fucking fart rainbows at his ass. You know,
Well,
and
because I hate to break it to some people, but £11 million
it's
isn't a
nothing.
lot of money.
Especially when you're signing a player for a top 3 league in the
Aye,
Bundesliga.
I had voices saying that as well.
Aye. You know, and it is. I've told you before that most of the shit I spit I get from the Celtic podcast. So, but but no, it's true. It really is. Go listen to Boys. He's great. It's fantastic. Right. But it's true though, and I like him as a player. I've always been consistent. I don't blame Brendan Rodgers for a lot of kind of player development, but Engels is the one I do, because I do not think he is getting the best out of him, and I think he's just resorted to benching him because I don't think he's got a clue how to get the best out of him. Which I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
well,
that's not good enough.
Going back to last night for a second, Joe, but it's an important point. What I would say, mate, is this. I think we might have stumbled on a good midfield for the time being, because even McGregor come on to a game because he had that support
Exactly. I thought
beside him.
McGregor played his best game in a Celtic shirt last night, this season.
Aye.
That was more like it for Carl McGregor. See the one when he gets the guy sent off? That's
Yeah.
Carl McGregor.
Yeah.
You know, forcing himself and no, I'm going to get this ball. I might take a Soyun, but I'm going to get. That's what I need to see for the Celtic captain. Because he didn't. Because do you know why that was? Because he didn't need to deal with the whole Celtic midfield on his own, because Hatate was going forward and Nygren was going forward. He had that bit of support. Engels was buzzing about. Engels was going forward as well, but he had enough legs in him to get back.
Yeah.
So if McGregor goes, right, neighbours have got Arne Engels sitting there, it's not fucking rocket science, man.
You can't.
Play it. That's the midfield.
You cannot leave Carl McGregor with that much.
Exactly. So if I see Arne Engels been dropped, I'm gonna go off my fucking nut.
Well,
and it might not work every single game. I'm not saying Arne Engels is going to come into this. I'm quite passionate about this. I'm defending Arne, right? But I'm not having this crap that as soon as he has a bad game, he's out the squad, because he's going to have bad games. He's a young guy. He's 22.
Celtic a better team with Arne Engels in it, yes.
Yes. Because there's more balance to the midfield, and it allows players like Hatate even come onto a game. Hatate, who's been, I'm going to be honest with you, I've not been shy with my criticisms of Rio Hatate. I thought he's been awful this season. But the whole midfield elevated, but especially the captain was elevated. And that's for Arne Engels. Now, Arne Engels has got his flaws and he's got the things he needs to work on. So, but the way I look at it, and people say, when I do blame the manager for Arne, and people say to me, "You'll not see them in training," but I don't buy all that crap, because I hardly think he's fucking boycotting training and no doing it. I'm pretty sure
Arne Engels' attitude, and I'm going to have pop it all the other players. I've read 11 players with Arne Engels' attitude this season. They've been no hops. They've been no going through the motions. And I think we all know who I'm talking about. So Arne Engels is showing a great deal of maturity for a 22-year-old.
And he can. I'll get the picture back up again. You can see that he wants to do well at this club. You know, he wants to do well at the club. He's trying he needs to be in the squad. And see if he's rubbish on Sunday, he's still in the squad, in my opinion, because we've seen Hatate. I don't want to keep picking on Real Hatate, right? But we've seen Carl McGregor, Hatate. I'm going to be honest with you, been terrible this season. and every single week they're in the squad.
Aye. No, in the squad, in the team.
In the team, the first 11. So, Brendan, don't drop Arnie Engels. He deserves a chance.
Especially the way he spoke about him.
Aye, and you need to, and you as a manager, Brendan, you need to find a position where he's good at.
I think we might have stumbled on a good balanced midfield last year.
Because see at the time, right, and I still think that even if the result doesn't go away on Sunday, you need to be persistent.
I don't think, and this is where I'm going to have a pop at the manager for me. I don't think he's helped with changing it every week.
Nope, it's not, because there's no harmony. You know, good Celtic teams. You know who was in the defence. You know who was in the midfield. There might be one or two changes, fine, but you know that. You know, I don't know Lennon's team.
We should say currently.
You know McGregor and Brown were going to be in that team, and Rogic might have been ahead of him. That was the maybe position it would change. Rogic maybe would have been in there. You know, and Cham might have come in. Armstrong might have come in. But there was at least a basis. You knew Scott Brown was going to be every week. You knew Carl McGregor was going to be there every week.
You were getting.
Aye. Exactly. So there needs to be a real balance, and Arnie Engels should be in that midfield for the time being, even if he has a poor game on Sunday, because you can't just keep dropping players because they have one poor game, but then keeping players in who have had poor game after poor game. It doesn't make sense. To finish off, and then we'll get to teams and score predictions on it. So I thought Barakwisha had a really good impact off the bench last night. I thought we really did see what he's about. You know, he was running at his man. His pace was really good. There was a few times he couldn't get away.
He ran back as well.
He ran 30 yards to get the ball.
Yeah.
You know, and fans appreciate that.
Yeah, and I did hear a roar when that came about, Josh. So remember I said to you, because I remember saying, that's what I want to see for you, myself.
Aye.
And, to be honest, and I've been Malaquisa's biggest critic, because I want him to do well, but I've not seen enough.
I know, I get it. But I thought his impact was good. In terms of the team, Alistair, obviously goalkeeper will stay the same. It'll be Schmeichel. I'd assume Tierney will start at left back.
Yeah.
Would I take it he would go?
I'd go Trusty.
Yeah, I think Murray will probably. I think.
I would go Trusty just because he's been at Tynecastle before.
Aye.
One is not going to be right.
Aye, one is going to be right. Right back.
Unless the Man City one starts with anywhere, but I can't.
Wouldn't surprise me, but I know. But right back,
I'd go Kobe Donovan.
I'd go Donovan as well, but I think the manager would go Ralston.
I hope no.
I just think.
For Dens Park.
I just think he's got to try and go for experience, because Tynecastle can be a really difficult place to also go.
It's very narrow and the crowd are on top of you, so you could be right, Josh. I kind of hope he goes with Donovan.
No, I hope too.
More than anything else. But
I hope he does well, but I just can see him going Ralston. Midfield already covered him, I think. McGregor, Engels, Hatate, I think will go.
I think it'll be the same midfield, Josh. Why would you change it? The
front three, I think will go. I don't think Negrin likes that role that he plays, to be honest, on the right, but I think he will go with
I
Negrin.
think it's flexible though, Joe. And I think that well, we don't know if Maeda is fit or injured because the manager never had a press conference today, really.
I could assume he'll probably be injured. I don't see him, mate. I've no really. I think he will still be injured for the week. So I'd maybe go Negrin, Taneki, and Johnny Kenny.
Taneki could get some joy because right back's the one position. Hearts haven't got an out and out right back. I just hope Taneki doesn't try and beat his man 3-4 times. If he beat a man, keep going forward. As I like Taneki, but he needs to, if he beats his man, he needs an end product at the end of it. And that's
No, I know.
I go, it's just an observation I've made.
Aye. And I obviously had Kerry will continue up front. He just needs to get that clinical thing in his game, which we spoke about earlier. Alistair, to finish up, obviously the score predictions.
Yes,
This is turning into an absolute farce, to be honest. Jesus.
you really don't. No, do you?
I don't want to. I've got a really bad feeling about Sunday. I'm just going to be honest. I think we might get beat. But with the spirit, I'm not going to go against my team. So I'll say 2-1. But I've got a really bad feeling about Sunday. I don't see Celtic getting anything out of the game, to be honest.
Bastard, so mine.
I think 2-1 if we're going to get anything. But we need to, as I said, be clinical. If we're not clinical, then it's going to be a struggle. But 2-1 hopefully.
2-1 Celtic to come. Aye, 2-1 Celtic.
Aye, 2-1 Celtic. Aye, even though I've said I think we'll get beat.
This
Doesn't make sense, but
well, in a Celtic podcast, you're not going to go any other way, are you?
no.
So, especially domestically. I'm going to go, you stole mine, so I'm just going to go 1-0 Celtic.
Aye. Yeah, it'll be fine, obviously. And then obviously we can
I'll take anyone. It's one of these games, I know we say that when we started this prediction. I really don't care. 4-3, 5-4, don't
Aye.
care. Just
I
come
know.
out in there with 3 points.
I know, that's the main thing. Come out there with 3 points and cut the gap to 2 points at the top. That's the main thing. And no matter how we do it. But I'm going to wrap it up there for let's get a preview, review last night and a preview of the Hearts game on Sunday. As usual, we're back at some point after the game on Sunday with post-match reaction. Hopefully talking about Celtic winning. Hopefully it would be really good if we were. But until then, we'll speak to you later. And hail, hail.
Hail, hail.